Well, hello there. For those of you who know me already, I don't need to introduce myself. But for those of you who may have stumbled upon this video or who were sent a link to this video, let me introduce myself by saying that my name is Kimberly Malusis. Now, I could define myself any number of ways. I'm a mother of four, I'm a wife, I am a former CPA tax specialist. But for the purposes of this video, I'll let you know that I am the CEO and the founder of Empowered Living Incorporated. And when I thought about doing this video, part of the reason why I wanted to do it was to say, look at how a mother at home can take a small direct sales business and turn it into a multinational, multi-million dollar corporation. Look at how she was able to influence lots of people all around the world to be able to do the same for themselves. But as I started preparing for this video, I started thinking to myself, instead of saying how, maybe it's much more compelling for me to tell you why. Because I think once you understand the why, then you can figure out the how. I do have amazing training programs for my team, which will tell them exactly how I got to where I am. Although I have to admit, those exactly how I got to where I am is missing a lot of the in-between slumps where I had no idea what I was doing and I was just kind of playing it by ear and throwing things against the wall to see what sticks. Thankfully, I've become a lot smarter over time and I'm able to create systems where people can actually learn a thing or two. But as I said, way more interesting than how I got here, at least for the time being, is why. I have to tell you that when I started growing my business, I didn't have a clear idea of why. Maybe I just wanted to know that I can accomplish something. Maybe hitting one rank after another within my business gave me a sense of accomplishment that I needed, being a stay-at-home mom who had retired from her career temporarily. Maybe I needed to be able to show to myself that a kid who grew up on the wrong side of Toronto, who didn't really have a lot going for her, could actually make something of herself and help others to do the same. But I'll tell you that the why, however weak it was at the beginning, has become a very strong why. One of the most compelling parts of my why comes from my own personal story. You know, there's something very disturbing about the thought that you're approaching the age of 50 and your best years are behind you. At least that's what you convince yourself of. You think that all the days of dreaming are done, and now it's time for you just to roll over, play dead, and hand the baton over to the next generation to take up maybe where you left off. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. And part of my journey in growing this business with doTERRA has been enabling myself to see that I have much more to contribute to this world than I have even yet explored. And I know that there's still much more to come. And then I get to turn around and I look at other women who are my age, even older, sometimes younger, who have kind of bought into that same message that their best years are behind them. And I get to tell them, oh, no, no, no. You're just starting to figure yourself out. Now is when the time is to rise. Now is the time to explore all the giftings that you have within you. And now is the time to see what you can truly give to the world. And I feel like this part of my why has compelled me to not only continue to build my business, but to inspire other people to build theirs. Because of course, financial freedom is important, but it's not sufficient. We need to know that there's something inside of us that the world needs to have. When we get a hold of that, we'll be unstoppable. Another part of my why comes from the financial struggles that I was seeing couples around me have, single people too. It was frustrating for me to watch them, trying to just pay the bills off every month, sometimes getting hydro cut off, sometimes, not being able to buy necessities for their family. And these were couples that had worked hard for a lot of the years of their lives. These are couples that had a lot of great things that they wanted to do with their money. They weren't just wanting money so that they can go on a yacht trip, even though there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But these are couples who really and truly wanted to make an impact on the world and who knew the impact that they wanted to make, but who are being hindered from making that impact because they didn't have the finances to do it. I can't tell you what a gift it has been to me to be able to see these couples rise up into their own sense of strength, to rise up into their own identity, and along with that, to rise up into financial security, more money than they ever dreamed possible, and now able to fund those projects that they had been wanting to fund all along, but felt so hindered from being able to do. Another part of my why comes from the very mission of what doTERRA is about. It's about empowering people to know that they have choices when it comes to their healthcare. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." I've seen people perish all around me. Maybe not perish exactly, maybe they're still alive, but almost like the walking dead. Constant pain, constant tiredness, constant inflammation, constant sense of unwellness, and feeling like they just couldn't get above that. The medical profession not offering them any hope. What I've seen happen is that when these people get the tools that they need, when they get the education that they need, when they get the resources that they need, they are able to rise into a completely different level of health. Health is valuable, much more valuable than our finances. There's no sense having money and being unwell. There's no sense having a vision and understanding you have a purpose and being sick. It's when people get a hold of their vision, they get their finances, and they get their health. That's when they truly become unstoppable. And so helping people to understand that they have real choices when it comes to their healthcare, helping people to understand that they can go to the root of the cause and not just put a band-aid on what seems to be a symptom, helping people to understand that healthcare is a whole lot more than just taking an oil or taking a pill. It's about going back to the foundations of things like good eating. I love this particular mission of what I do. And it's become a real passion of mine to share with people the hope that is offered to them, that their bodies will heal itself if it's supported the way that it's meant to be supported. Another part of my why is relationships. This is a relationship business that I'm involved in. The beauty of what I get to do every single day is that I'm connected with people. Now, of course, there's the downside of relationship. It can be tiring. It can be wearing sometimes, but never at the expense of the greater good, of the beautiful, fulfilling, long-lasting relationships that we develop in this business. I get to work every single day with some of the best world changers and friends in the world. And I get to do it while seeing them grow financially, grow in their health, grow spiritually and emotionally. It's such a beautiful ride to be able to grow together. When I rise in my business, I don't rise alone. I rise together with some of the best people that I'm connected with, some of my best friends. And I'm very thankful for that. And that kind of leads me to the last point, which is personal growth. All of us want to grow personally. All of us want to overcome the limitations that we know exist in our lives. But the thing is that sometimes we need a little bit motivation than just wanting it. Sometimes there's power behind having that growth being tied to your paycheck. And the truth is that in my business, you cannot get that bigger paycheck unless you're willing to make the bigger sacrifice of dealing with your stuff. And so the personal growth part of this business has been phenomenal. To say it's life-changing is an understatement, because it's truly more than life-changing. It's truly changing the world around you as well. Because as I grow, as the people around me grow, we make an impact that has a ripple effect of hundreds of people and thousands of people around us. So how did I grow a business that has over 12,000 people, 25 nations, $750,000 in sales every single month? I can explain that to you if you want to connect with me. But more importantly, now you know a little bit about the why.